Morning, guys. Today we're going to talk about the connection between substance abusers and mental health disorders. Roughly 53% of all documented substance abusers have an underlying mental health condition. They either suffer from severe anxiety, depression, PTSD, bipolar, schizophrenia, or some other issue. Now, that's only documented. And in my practice, I see every day that a lot of these cases are not documented, meaning that people are out here using substances, trying to treat an underlying mental health condition that they don't even realize they have, that hasn't been properly diagnosed by a physician. Now, the key point of this is how are you going to get sober when you are using substances to treat a mental health condition that you may or may not even realize that you have? And just think about it. I talk to clients, all day, every day. This is all I do. And literally, they tell me all the time, like, yeah, I be feeling sad and I be depressed, and then I take a blast, or I sniff a food and I feel better about myself, and that's why I do it every day, despite the fact that they have withdrawals and things of that nature that also is part of that equation. And I'm telling them, I'm like, well, whatever problems you have don't go away because you use the substance. So the substance really isn't treating the problem. It's just making you feel better for the moment. But you do have a problem, though, that needs to be fixed. And, it's the way you react to your problems is why that you suffer from what we consider a mental health disorder. I mean, think about it, guys. We all get sad about something. But the difference is a person who suffers from severe anxiety, severe depression, it ruins their life that something bad happened to them. Where a person like me, for example, just kind of shrug it off. And for the record, I wasn't always that way. And that's something I had to build up. I go to therapy as well. So I'm not telling you guys to do something that I don't do. Like that's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is for you to get sober, you got to deal with your mental health issue as well. You have to treat your bipolar. You have to treat your post-traumatic stress disorder. You have to treat your anxiety. You have to treat your depression. And you don't always have to treat it with a pill, but at least if you treat it with a pill, you're getting the same pill. See, that's another thing, guys. Think about it. You suffer from anxiety. When you feel anxious, you go get high. You go use a substance. You go use an opioid or cocaine. But you ain't never really getting the exact same, I'm talking about 99.9% the exact same drug every time, because everybody you buy it with is cutting it with something different. Everybody you buy it with is cooking it different. Everybody you buy it from is dealing with a different connect, and who knows what they're doing to it. So you using substances to treat your mental health disorder, but you never using the same substance twice. And sometimes it's working and sometimes it's not. And then you don't even know about the side effects because it's not an FDA approved substance. Versus you going to a physician, you're getting prescribed Zoloft, or you're getting prescribed some other drug, and you know what you're getting because you're getting the exact same thing every time. Another thing, guys, and there's no exact scientific percentage, but just from my, again, from my experience, from me talking to my clients, from what they tell me and how we interact, you are 100% times more likely to abuse a substance trying to treat a mental health disorder than you are to abuse the medicine that is prescribed to you for treating a mental health disorder. So you're not going to overdose on Zoloft. You're not going to abuse the Zoloft. But you abuse that cocaine, though. You abuse that marijuana. You abuse that alcohol or whatever your DOC is. You abuse that trying to feel better, trying to treat your mental health disorder, trying to make the voices stop or whatever the situation is. But you're not going to abuse the physician drug. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're taking Xanax, because Xanax actually does help some people in small doses taken correctly. But it is addictive. So that's why, some people do abuse it, and, the doctors typically cut them off and then they buy Xanax on the street. And that's a whole nother fiasco in itself. But taking it properly, Xanax does help people. I dated a girl who took Xanax before, and she was fine, She was nothing like the people I treat in my program who abuse Xanax. So it's a lot of myths out here, guys. Like, it's ways to take care of your mental health, but you got to do it properly. You got to, take your prescriptions as prescribed. You got to not abuse substances trying to treat your mental health disorders. And you got to get therapy, guys. You got to develop coping skills. You got to come to a program like Mind Riders with me or with somebody else to teach you some coping skills, so to help you deal with these issues. Teach you how to journal, how to ground, how to meditate, how to do other things that kind of help you with your mental health issues. But you got to take care of them, because if you never take care of your mental health issues, you're never going to get sober. They go hand in hand, guys. And that is the truth. So think about it, guys. For the people that you know out here that's using substances every day, tell them as a friend, be like, man, you want to see a psychiatrist? Like, you might actually have like a mental health disorder that could be treated and that could help you get off of this stuff, because you try to treat it yourself. You diagnosing yourself and treating yourself with street drugs that ain't never the same. It's impossible. If you think logically, how can you treat your mental health disorder with street drugs, and the street drugs is never going to be the same? Every time you're going to get a different version of the street drug. It's impossible. And very risky with fentanyl and everything else that's going around these days. All right, guys. That's all I got for you today. Ashley Bonds, Get Sober Network, signing off.